What's up, YouTube? Just sitting here thinking about some more things. Okay, Bethany, Jen, and Tiffany. How come Yvonne told you, Tiffany, to your face, that I had never, ever hit her? Also, Tiffany, if I was abusing you so physically, like you tell people, how come you never had any bruises? How come you didn't call the cops? How come you didn't go to the hospital? Sounds kind of weird, don't it? Oh, everybody knows me around this town. I can throw, and they know that. So, women that have a problem with iron tend to bruise easier, don't they? So, don't you think that the community would have noticed that she was being abused and battered in the midst of 10 years? Well, 12 years. Uh huh. And my kids were old enough to talk, and every time they were asked if they've ever seen daddy hit mom, their answer was no. So, pretty funny if you ask them if you've ever seen mommy hit daddy, their answer was yes. That's funny. See, Jen, you said all these things and you keep changing your stories. You had my daughter on a video where she's reading from a script. You can plainly see her eyes going from right to left, and she looks like she is like zoned in, focusing on something in front of her face. Not only that, this chick worships the devil. She has charges on her for sexual assault. Her boyfriend is being looked at heavily for a murder case. Really? You're just batting 1,000 there, Miss Good Mama. What about breaking her phone? Yeah, Tiffany. Our kids had phones, tablets, games. Which ones of those did I break because they were being bad? See, Jazzy wasn't even being bad. She just wasn't doing what her mother wanted her to do. Well, that's her parent. Right. But has anybody wondered what her mother was wanting her to do? Why was Jazzy acting like that towards her mother? Hmm. Maybe because her mom thinks it's funny to torment people. Yeah, did you ever think that Jazz got her phone broke just because Jen wanted to torment her? Of course, Jen's not going to say that. I know for a fact that's what went down. I know for a fact Jen will go behind people's back and try to paint a picture of things that never took place just to get control over that person. Oh, yes, you will. Remember what you did about me telling your dad about Kyle? I'm the one who brought that up. Remember when we first started talking and you introduced me to your dad? What was our next conversation when we were walking to get lunch? Uh huh. And what did you say? No, he won't let us hang out. I said, that's irrelevant. He finds out about Kyle, and I didn't tell him. he's going to look at me some sort of way that I'm not. He does have a right to know, and he has the right to know the full story because I already know what he's going to think. Young guy has a kid, man, he must be playing the field. No, I actually wasn't. The girl I was with was doing just that. That was not under my attention, I guess you want to call it, because I did not know that's what she was doing. And this is why I'm not sexual with people. I wasn't with her, and that's what she wanted. And Bethany, you can lie to everybody too. You knew damn well you were not getting anything unless you pulled some slick ass fucking move. And that's exactly what you did. It's the same thing Jen did. Pulled some type of fucking hair brain move out of her ass to get what she wanted. What, did you all think that because I didn't want to sleep with you, it made you not beautiful or pretty or less attractive or that there was something wrong with you? Because if you thought that, why the fuck didn't you say something? I would have told you, no, sex complicates things. It's not right to do. And yes, I have said this to every girl I've ever dated. Bethany at 12 years old, yeah, she was. Why? I don't know. She got mad at me silently. Never even knew she was mad about this. We had a great time, as far as I knew. And we were 12 years old. It was kiddie dating. Are you kidding me? We just liked each other. What the fuck? This chick's acting like we're freaking married and, you know, I don't know. I don't know what the hell she had in mind. But we had a great time. Went to the beach together, played on the beach, ran up and down the beach holding hands, hid from seagulls trying to take our cookies. That was funny. Yeah, we hid under a blanket because seagulls were surrounding us. It was our fault. We were feeding them. And we got surrounded. Of course, I could have jumped up and shoot them all away. Yes, I know. But it was more fun to do that. Yeah, man, we walked shit. I don't know. But I tell you one thing, that boardwalk was so freaking small, you could barely even tell it was a boardwalk. And we walked all the way to it. It felt like it took forever, especially because Bethany got tired of walking. So she jumped on my back and I took her the rest of the way, all the way to the boardwalk. Then when I put her down, the boardwalk was burning her feet. So I picked her back up and I carried her on my back the whole length of the boardwalk, all the shops we went in, everything, all the way back to where we came from. I'm telling you right now, it had to at least be a good 3 to fucking 5 miles. You know, that's just there, let alone the return trip. It had to be. I know how long a mile is, and it was damn sure over that. But yeah, she said that the reason we broke up is because I wouldn't kiss her or hold her hand, which that was a lie. We didn't kiss, but we did hold hands. It just never came up. We were having a lot of fun, and I don't know, it just never came up. Uh, you know, you're able to make moves. Where is it that there's a rule that this dude has to do it first? That's what gets dudes in trouble. I don't do that. You always wait for the female to show you signs that it is what she wants and that she's okay with it. You don't just do it. This isn't a fucking movie. Miss Moulin Rouge. And she was obsessed with that movie. Yeah, I found out why. I thought it was because of the music. You know, she really liked music, but no, it wasn't. Yeah, Christina Aguilera and all that, the soundtrack that went along with it. I thought that is what got her drug into the movie. The movie was fucking terrible, and she loved this damn movie. I'm like, what the? Huh? So that's when Fast and the Furious came out, and of course, I picked that as my movie. Oh hell yeah, I love the cars in that movie. Yes, I know, sports compact little toys, but whatever. Still would love to drive them. I would stick to the American muscle, of course, but those things would still be fun to take for a trip. Anyway, I have plenty of proof that she did nothing but lie. She's lying about this situation. She knew about it, and I know that. I think somebody went back to her and told her that we were planning on taking her to court, and I had enough evidence to do so. So she pulled this. Just like Jen, she broke court orders all the time. All the time. All because she was mad. At what? She didn't get her way. Even Talon says it in his video. She was mad about a SIM card that she said I took, that I didn't take. And he says it right there that she took my phone. She was trying to use it as leverage because I guess she thought I wasn't going to give her the SIM card out of the phone that stays with me. It's my phone. It's not going with her. Well, it was really my uncle's because we had phones on his plan. When my dad died, he gave me my dad's phone, and well, I still don't know if he's my dad, but as far as I know, I was told my whole life that he was. So, well, yeah, I had a stepdad in my life from when I was 6 and up, but that dude, he was only there for my mom. That's it. I don't want to hear anybody's shit. The only reason he did anything he did was just to make her happy. That's all he was doing. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into that. Brian Scott Williams. How's that karma taste, bitch? I fucking told you. Karma gonna get you. Ha 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 ha. What happened to your car, huh? Got a brand new car given to you. What'd you do to it, drunk ass? Probably wrecked it. Why you in a motel? Oh, your girlfriend kicked you out. Got tired of you yelling and abusing her because she won't let you hold the kid because you're drunk. You shouldn't have a fucking kid. Imagine that. Still doing drugs and alcohol. But you smoke weed. Weed is prescribed to me. And let me tell you something. I can take a gram of flour and make it last 3 days. Okay? I do it in doses. I don't use it for partying. It is used as medicinal, like I said. It can be sat down and walked away from at any time. So can cigarettes. I've already demonstrated that to so many people that said you can't do that. Yes, I can. I do it because it helps me, and I'm not gonna lie, I enjoy it. to an extent. I don't enjoy it like, woohoo, it's the greatest thing ever. It's like, well, it ain't that bad. Now, as far as any hard drugs, any liquor, alcohol, stuff like that, if I if I buy beer or alcohol, now if I buy a 12 pack, it'll last 4 months, 6 months. If I get liquor, shit, that stuff will be there for probably years. I might have maybe a little bit of it every so many months. Yeah, I don't have that type of addictive attitude or personality that gets people addicted to things like that. I don't have, uh, you know, obsessive disorders like that. And people think it's hard to believe. I don't give a shit what's hard to believe. It's a fact. There's plenty of people out there. You might not have met them, but they're out there and they're the same. They don't get hung up on things like that. It doesn't take control over them like other people allow it to. Maybe that's because I was growing up watching people do all kinds of hard shits, drugs and alcohol, and watching their lives go right down the fucking drain. Maybe that's because I'm surrounded still by people in my family that have done hard drugs and their lives are going down the fucking drain. My life has went down the drain because of a gold digging bitch. Because internet is been taken as reality, and people are using what they see on the internet and trying to make it into reality by actually doing it. This is how you turn, or in your mind, turn fantasy into reality because, oh, I'm doing it, therefore it's reality. No, the reality of it is it's wrong, it's stupid, and it's going to do nothing but cause trouble. Why? Because it doesn't fit with reality. That's why LBGQ is having so many problems because their fantasy world doesn't fit in fucking reality. It is disgusting. Well, that means you're gay or you're homophobic. No, it doesn't. Even though I don't agree with gay and lesbian, guess what? We had that shit before your fucking alphabet community. So how is that? I had an uncle that was gay. I still have another uncle that is gay. I don't care. That's his lifestyle. He'll have to answer for those things. You don't think I've said it? Yeah, of course. But I also understand that that is an individual human that is allowed to do what they want with their life, as long as it's within certain parameters, just like anybody else. Yeah, there's tons of stuff we can do, but is it morally right to do? I mean, this is why people want to get rid of God, so that way they can move that moral line to wherever the hell they want. Do you know that's why he gave you free will? He wants you to he wants to see if that's what you're going to do. He doesn't want you to do that, but that's what he gave it to you for. Just like a parent that lets a kid figure things out on their own and all they do is stand back there and make noises or faces or nothing. And the kid's got to figure it out on his own, sink or swim. Right, that's what he gave you. Sink or swim. Plop, there you go. He gave you a world with everything that it all regenerates. All you got to do is work for it. Excuse me. That was Adam's curse because of what they did in the garden. Obviously, they did something against what God wanted. Of course, it's, preschool. talking. It's like you're talking to a kid when they say it, forbidden fruit. Obviously, whatever happened in that garden, that devil showed them something that brought their attention to whatever they did. It wasn't a piece of fruit, it was something that God did not want them to do. And the one thing he was against, mainly against, was fornication. And that's what the Bible speaks of the most. Well, one of the things it speaks of the most is fornication. What is fornication? What's another thing that, you know, and yeah, you can go through the seven deadly sins and try and figure out what you did to go against God very easily. You can figure out what that so called forbidden fruit and the tree of knowledge was really about. I think it was called the tree of knowledge, is because God knew they didn't know anything about anything unless something came along and showed them, just like, innocent minds. If they're innocent minds and they're not shown stuff like that, it will stay an innocent mind for the most part. Yes, that's not an exact science. It's called in majority. You always have the weird one that you got to kind of scoot back in line. Anyway, that's the devil trying to get in. But anyway, but I don't get it. People are religious, but they think this kind of stuff is, hocus pocus. No, it's not. What you're playing with every day is more hocus pocus. All of it is freaking witchcraft. Even the freaking holidays we celebrate, they're all witchcraft. Every one of them. Where'd it come from? Pagan Rome. Come on now. I mean, if you guys were playing connect the dots, dude, you must have sucked. What'd you do? Draw triangles and just straight lines? Couldn't figure out how to make a square? Because this is bullshit. I mean, it's right in front of your face, and you guys are just like, nah. Then it happens again, and you're still, nah. Wow. Every time they mess with Egypt, every time they keep messing with the I don't even want to say the name of the ranch that they keep messing with. You have Satanists out here that are growing by the day, and they do nothing but seances and conjuring up stuff, and you wonder why the world's going to hell. We moved that moral line completely out of the way. It's gone. I mean, come on. We should have had uprises over 9/11. We should have had this type of uprises over taxes, over the fact of troops being lied to about orders from the elites, coming home and just being tossed to the fucking wolves. I mean, don't you think it's funny? They're able to execute orders from the elites so easily, but if you have a pay problem, you have to wait fucking a half a year to get it fixed? Come on, man. What the fuck? That should tell you some shit right there. I don't give a fuck about paying you. They just want their job done. After it's done, fuck you. We'll give you whatever we think is okay, so you shut the fuck up. After that, get the fuck out of our face. They used you for whatever the fuck they wanted to do. That's not what our security system is supposed to be. They're supposed to be for us. For us. We were supposed to vote on this shit. Okay? Not only that, you have politicians that will lie and manipulate like Bush did to get 9/11 to happen. Look at Clinton's with Saddam Hussein. Some people are saying they found, you know, Anunnaki artifacts or relics or something like that. I was a kid when all that went down, but everything I seen on the news, which you can't go by everything on the news, I know that, was that Clintons were the ones that gave him so-called weapons of mass destruction, just like we did with Iran just before they started threatening us with nuclear. We had a fight with them. Then they helped them with their freaking nuclear capabilities, then they go back and fight them again. Have you ever seen somebody run somebody in a circle, verbally or physically, just, keep manipulating them until they just keep going in a circle? Yeah, that's what they're doing. Really? They went to Afghanistan, where Afghanistan will let these people grow opium, turn it into a drug, and then bust them. Send them to jail for 2 months. The cops will take their drugs, sell it to their guy that they were going to sell it to, and get the money for it. But they don't bust the dude that they're selling it to. The US goes over there, and all of a sudden, the United States is flooded with fucking heroin. It is so fucking cheap. You have people dying left and right. You have people going out and killing fucking people left and right. Really? Like I said, you all don't know how to connect dots like at all. I mean, seriously, that shit's right in front of your face. You need people to tell you? What happened to watching actions? You know, what happened to, actions speak louder than words? Because now people are just believing words. There's no actions to prove it, but boy, they just believe it. What's up with that? I don't understand that either. Have I been in the middle of that? Hell yeah. Mainly with females. My brother, and shit, everybody around me. I guess they all have accepted this way of supposed getting through life. Lying, manipulating, and sitting on your ass. Got it. They're basically people getting you to do the work for them. Yep, talking you into doing all this when they could do it them. They're. Why can't they do it themselves? Right. Uh-huh. Because you don't want to be the one to take the shot or the bullshit that's going to come down the pike afterwards. You just want to reap the benefits and walk away while they take the heat. Isn't that called a lackey or slave? Yeah. Yeah, this is what these people are doing. And you're telling me that's not an antichrist spirit that's making people that way? Yeah, it is. So is social media. Remember the desensitization they were talking about? Well, there it is. Pretty sure you guys will rack your brain and dissect that shit so much to where it doesn't make sense. You realize if you dissect every English word so much, it starts not to make sense. Even though the English language doesn't make sense. It's one of the stupidest fucking languages in the world. It is meant to confuse. Also, the whore that sits on many waters that perverts other countries with her linens, her jewels, her spices, her pretty much import and export, that would be the United States. And we already, what's one thing we know that we affiliate with the United States? Lady Liberty. Why do we call her Lady Liberty? ISIS. She was a lady that wanted to manipulate and liberate people from God, along with her husband and their son. This is also the family that tried to mirror Jesus, his story of him being born. Their son was Tammuz. So, really, if Jesus and all that is not real, how come you got all these things trying to mirror the same story? That is the Statue of Liberty we have in New York City. Everybody, oh, that means we are liberated from England. No, that is Ishtar. Sorry, Ishtar and her husband, not Isis. Isis is a part of that too. But Ishtar is the one that was trying to liberate us from God. Isis is another one. These are all from Egyptian stuff and Roman Greek things that were going on. But anyway, Ishtar is the Statue of Liberty. That is setting fire to the heavens to liberate us from God's law. It is not to liberate us from England. We have never been liberated from England. Don't you also think it's funny when we first started, 13 colonies? You might want to look up what that number 13 goes for. Yeah. The woman in scarlet riding the back of the beast is the United States. What that means is the United States is going to carry and push the beast's objective, what they want done. And that would mean that United States, as in the government, is doing that. Boy, I wonder if that's the deception that the good book talks about. Sure as hell seems like it. But I'm just some idiot. What do I know? Yeah, story of my life. You're wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay. What happened shortly after? They are proving that I am exactly correct. Why do you go to glue? I'm not gloating. Maybe it's because you got so many of you people out here that every time I say something, you guys jump all over it and you're not correct. And then when you're proven you're not correct, it's either crickets or a blow up. How is that me? You were the one out here that was misinformed. All I did was inform you. But of course, that's like an assault to your senses that somebody proved you wrong. Well, pay better attention. If somebody with ADHD that has an attention problem can get it, then what's your excuse? Right? Right. So, in conclusion, yeah, that's all a part of these girls and what they were doing, but it's also bigger problems going on. So, I made sure to mention some of both. Circling back to what I was talking about, or at the beginning of this video, I've never abused these women. I have stood up for myself, I have stood up for my kids, but I have never abused them. They've gotten what they've deserved at times, yeah. And no, I don't mean beating them up. I mean telling them straight. That's what they would get mad about because I wouldn't accept their bullshit. Even after they had flipped out and lied to people and got all this other shit, yeah, I just wouldn't accept their fantasy world. And even they had my uncle, she had my uncle Ronnie manipulated. Oh, well, a real man admits that he's wrong even if he's not. No, that's not a real man. That's someone accepting a lie. Are you stupid? I will accept what I've done. and what has actually been wrong. Because no, I'm not perfect. But I will not, absolutely will not, accept something that I did not do wrong. The only thing I did wrong is think that these women actually had something better in them than what they did. That is the only thing I did wrong as far as relationships. Now, if you want to throw into the fact that I was manipulated into having babies, then yeah, that was a stupid move. It wouldn't have been a stupid move if the other part wasn't playing games. You see what I mean? I am part of that problem, but I'm not the main problem. So, yes, I did make decisions that were maybe not the best, but I was still capable of fixing and taking care of all of them. That's why these women threw these hurdles in. All they were doing was taking the spotlight off of what they were doing. That's it. You know, passing the buck basically. That's why I hate my fucking siblings. It's the same shit they would do. And oh, that's just what no. There's a line, man. Like I said, there's a line. Okay? I understand siblings fuck with each other. No shit. I understand friends screw with each other. I get that. I understand relationships do it. Trust me. We were rowdy, we wrestled, we were goofy. Call it redneck, rough, whatever. Nerf guns, wrestling, freaking scenarios, all kinds of stuff like that. Like I said, there is a line, people. Obviously, in your brain, you're giving benefit of the doubt. What do these females do? They hope that you give them the benefit of the doubt. Why? Because they automatically start to get away with what they did. Do men get that? No. We are automatically thought to be the problem until proven otherwise. So we're guilty until proven innocent, but women are innocent until proven guilty. What? Oh, yeah, that's so equal. That's what I mean. Their version of equality is cherry picking. It's not equality. If you really wanted equality, you wouldn't like it. Once you find out what men actually go through to be a man and actually fucking fight for their life to get where they're going, you bitches ain't gonna want to do that. You're so used to grandpa syndrome, everybody handing you everything. Every time you have a little bit of a letdown in life, whether it's your fault or not, they try and give you a free handout. And fuck out of here. You know what they do to us? They laugh and say, figure it out. Now, I understand that there are some women out there that were raised like that. Some of them are still spoiled in other ways. Some of them don't act like that at all. But that's not too many now, is it? Right. The ratio of those is so low. And not every woman that's raised like that has a good head on her shoulders. She'll still be a gold digger. She'll still do love bombing. She'll still do other things. Fuck out of here, man. So, in majority, who has turned relationships into a fucking war zone? Women. Why? Because they benefit from it. They get benefit of the doubt. They get to cherry pick. They get to do less work, get more money, and end up with pretty much everything. No shit. It'd be hard for anyone not to take those odds. It's ridiculous. You think it's set up like that just because people love women? No. It's set up like that by perverts to appeal to women to give them a way to fuck with their family. That's exactly what it's for. People that wanted to disrupt families because they wanted some dude's wife. Yeah, right, David. Well, it's not just for that, but that's one of the reasons. Yeah. There's wives out here that wouldn't cheat on their husband, but they make their husband look like a dick or not as exciting. Guess what? She'll end up running, especially if they're like, hey, you can take the kids, half of what he's built, and everything. All you got to do is divorce him. What does the devil do? Whisper in your ear. What's that? Whispering in your ear. Do they listen? Hell yeah. Money? Really? I can have him take care of the kids and I get a break? Really? Even though you get a big fucking break while you're with him. You just don't realize it until the kids are all with you. Then that's when she starts getting bitter. Oh, she enjoys those weekends without him, but then she'll start getting mad at you because of all the work she has to do herself, even though it was her that did it. That's why they try and say, well, this ain't enough for these kids, and there ain't no way that covers everything they need. No shit. It's supposed to cover a portion of what they need. They live with you 75% of the time. You were to cover the rest. Did take two people to make it, right? Right. This is what I mean. The fact that they started offering these women money the way they did, shit, they were like, cha-ching, paycheck. What do you think they did with disability? Cha-ching, I can make my kids stupid and get paycheck. Blame it on it, whatever the hell I can. Because I'm going to get benefit of the doubt, so ain't like they're going to blame me unless I make it obvious. And a lot of them, they do make it obvious and they still get away with it. It's fucking insane. Like Tiffany, she made it blatantly obvious. That's what I mean. You all say that kids are just like freaking drunks. They tell the truth, right? Not all the time, but you can tell when a kid's lying and when they're not. My kids said it multiple times and not just to me. And you all believed their mother. And look, you fed them right to a fucking monster. She wasn't a monster when she was with me because she knew. She knew. She started to be when my eyes weren't looking, and wow, I wonder if that's why a lot of times I would lose money. Wow, I wonder if she knew that. Yeah, of course she did. Boy, I wonder if that was a setup. Yep. Wow. All this gold digging, scheming, and setup and shit going on, and then taking the kid's life. Why? Because you blew all the gold you had, tried to act like you didn't get nothing. There are plenty of women that would have killed to be in your position, and you know it because they told you, especially the ones that seen how we ran our relationship. They couldn't believe it. They're like, what? He does what? And then what? Yeah, very funny. Oh, now I'm an abusive piece of shit, all because you wanted to hurt our kids. Fuck out of my face, bitch.